reparations passed in the same session as the most restrictive voting restrictions law since Jim Crow? And there's a follow-up too.
Jesus did. I don't know really what. I mean, yeah. So I will say, Representative Brown and I worked on a bill last year to make sure that the Ocoee massacre was taught in schools, and that was an uphill battle, and we got that done. So I would say that we had already laid the groundwork and built the momentum for what I believe is an unprecedented bill. When you talk about reparations, you saw the presidential candidates talking about supporting that reparations. And there's only been one time in the history of this country that a state legislature has paid reparations to Black Americans. And this is the second time. And so this is historic, and I'm very proud. Not only that, they named it after me, my colleague did, and so I'm so proud. This is something that will go on long after I'm.
To follow up that question, as a parent soon to send a child to college, $6,100 is $6,100. But in view of the land and generational wealth lost as a result of the immense atrocity, we actually say that $6,100 is enough. And if it's not enough, can you put a dollar amount on what would be enough?
That's a great question. I don't think it's enough, and I've said that. I mean, when you talk about the land that was stolen, the generational trauma that was inflicted on the people that were affected, I don't think you can put a dollar amount on it. Even if you just look at the land that was stolen and calculate the amount that it would be worth today, upwards of, I think, $30 million, this doesn't come close. But considering the climate in the legislature, considering that this was, the word reparations was a boogeyman word, the fact that we were even able to get something done, I think is still a large accomplishment and something that needs to be applauded. I still think it needs to be more, but I think considering the circumstances, it's still something to be proud of.
And so, last follow-up question on this three-part question. Will you try to get more in the upcoming session?
I will, and I think what I will focus on, not necessarily increasing the amount, but increase the amount per student, but increasing the number of students that could be eligible. Right now, it's just for 50 students. I'm gonna try to push that to as many students as I can. And so, what is interesting about this, Rosewood, which happened in 1991 or 2 or whatever, that focused on strictly the descendants. This will allow for this money to go to descendants, but also African American students in Ocoee. Once the descendants are taken care of, and I don't think there's gonna be many that will be able to take advantage of it, this will go to African American students in Ocoee, that live in Ocoee. So, and if we can expand that, I think it will have